everybody. We're all going to get laid.
You're doing it. I ain't touching it. Nope. No, I ain't touching it. Nope. Nope. Good try.
Is this on? Is the camera getting my good side? Is the camera? Good morning.
Good morning.
It's Round Table on TGD today.
My good
I was
side.
going to go somewhere, and I decided not to.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Well, go.
Does he have a good side?
I was going to
I don't know
ask
if we
that.
got
I
enough
just-
cameras.
I just wondered if the lights were doing. Do I look okay?
Hey, your
The
jam up.
glare's a little rough. You
I'm
know, you
gonna tell
missed
you
your
what.
makeup this morning.
The Dapper Dan worked out yesterday.
Your jam up and jelly tight.
It was hot yesterday.
It
though.
was hot.
It was hot. It was brutal.
Rich Jacobs Memorial Grand Strand Pro-Am. Is that the title? I thought
Yeah.
that was pretty good.
It was. I tell you, great.
I remember that.
And I tell you what, it was a great field. It was a lot of people supporting it, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, I tell you, Arrowhead's in great shape.
Arrowhead.
Eddie and them, his staff and his maintenance staff, heck of a job yesterday.
First ever round at Arrowhead.
Really?
Thoroughly enjoyed it. Never been there before.
Nice.
Not an easy course.
It's a golf course you really don't have to hit driver on.
If you keep it in the fairway, it's no big deal.
Yeah. It helps.
When is that ever
That's
different?
pretty much every golf course from what I've experienced in my lifetime.
Team
What is
Volt.
this fairway you speak
Team
of?
Volt.
Yeah.
Did you see the Facebook pages? Team Volt.
I like it.
They all had on those lime green shirts and thought they were cool.
They're Volt green.
I don't care. They were lime green, fluorescent green, chartreuse green.
Thanks to
whatever you
Jim
wanna call it.
Biggs, Crow Creek, our pro for the event.
Oh, yes, sir.
Marvelous job.
Very nice. Very nice.
We didn't have enough handicap. Can you believe that? The Godfather didn't have enough handicap.
You take the wrong card with you?
I thought I picked up one of 7 and I didn't look and see what the number was when I got there. I hate it when that happens.
I know
That's
you
it.
do.
We had a blast.
We did too.
Arrowhead, marvelous job. Everybody that puts together, Dave Walker, all the other people with the Rich Jacobs charity event, marvelous job. Brittany out on the cart,
Yep.
marvelous job.
She was great. They were always there. I mean, the guys, even the volunteers out driving around in the golf carts with water for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just hope our friend from Condo World is okay this morning. He had a bit of a not quite a heat
Now,
stroke.
I saw
but-
the ambulance, yeah.
and Arnett Vereen, who's on my team that works with Heather at Condo Lux, he actually had to go get on the phone and call 911 for him as they were running him in. But I think they said he was going to be okay, and they had him at the hospital trying to get him full of fluids and stuff. So,
Good.
But, I mean, 110-degree heat index, I mean, that's going to happen if you're
Yeah.
not careful.
You know what? With everybody keeping you hydrated, and I went through, I don't know, as many Powerades as probably you did, but the course couldn't have been any better. It was such a great day, good event, food, all that. So hats off to them, and I look forward to next year.
Yeah, I do too. I mean,
So.
I've played in it since, the first year, and I try to make a point of it. I just think next year
Well, we always expect you to be at the bottom, probably in at 3, 4, 5 under par or whatever, and then make the shootout, and then you'll blow out a knee or something.
I can remember years ago.
Get constipated or something.
Break a hip.
I can remember back, 2 and 3 years ago, I'd show up, at like a particular charity event, so on and so forth. And, I thought I'd have a pretty good team. And then next thing I know, I see HR3 coming through the front door.
Yeah.
And I just look at my buddies and I say, well, we're playing for second now.
I had the same feeling yesterday.
We're playing for second now, boys.
The only thing about it, I thought I had a chance yesterday. I really thought that an amateur could beat the pro when I saw him coming through the parking lot and he still had toilet paper hanging out the back of his pants. So I think, man, I got a chance. He's not all with the program today.
Hey, as soon as the bell rings, it's on like Donkey Kong.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, just don't get me in my element, boys.
Guys, let's talk a little golf, okay? Do y'all find it as interesting as I do that Adam Scott got Stevie to come out of retirement and caddy for him?
No.
No?
No.
I mean, Stevie's committed now to the next 3 majors for Adam.
That's good. I think it'll help him tremendously. And
I think it will too.
I just think it goes to show
It
money,
takes Adam's-
money can buy you anything you want.
That's right. That's right.
That's
You'll
exactly
have him
what
a few
it
more race cars, and, that's not a bad thing.
But the point is, it takes Adam from a I don't think so, as far as a pick, and now moves him back up into maybe the top 7, 8 considerations.
Yeah, I agree with you there, George. I don't think it's going to be the save all.
No.
Stevie's been out of it for a little while, and no offense, it's going to be take him a few rounds to get back into the mode.
Maybe so. But he is that driving force mentally, emotionally, psychologically behind Adam.
And I still
He
think it
basically
should have
got
been-
Adam the
It
Masters.
should have been the first one to hire him back instead of Adam.
Oh, come on, dude. That would be like him going back to Butch.
And there's a lot of people talking about it right now that he doesn't need to make a phone call. He just needs to set up an appointment and go visit and talk to Butch.
Well, yeah, it ain't going to happen.
No,
It ain't going to happen.
but it's being talked about.
Well, for Adam, I think it moved his numbers significantly for Stevie to come back with him.
It'll help him.
Yeah.
I don't think Steve would go back with Tiger. You just
No.
with all the water under the bridge
No.
and everything.
No.
I think he.
That ain't water. That's sludge mud, dear.
Yep.
That ain't water. Let's talk a little bit about the course. We've saw a lot of coverage this week. Players, they're always quick to spotlight the players that are making bumpy green comments or, this comment or that comment about the possible setup that Mike Davis is going to give them each and every day. It's going to be different every day. Been a lot of comments made about Mike Davis's comments about I'm going to make the players think during this Open Championship. What's your thoughts on that, Hugh?
I think it's going to be interesting. I think the golf course is going to deal a lot of damage to players as far as scoring goes.
There's a lot of trouble out there.
I think that the way the ground is, they've gone from hot weather. They went to in the 50s yesterday to, the ground's hard. It's brown. It looks like a British Open golf course. The thing that Mike Davis and his staff did yesterday just blew my mind was the poor kid that's an alternate, that's one of the top 2 alternates there for the Open, not allowing him to play a practice round with everything that he said about players that are going to play here and need to play as much as they can.
And they should.
And they went, a young man was playing with Jeff Ogilvy, and they went out and took his golf club, said, "You're more than welcome to walk around, but you can't play." I've never heard of that in my life.
Yeah.
In my life.
Well, they've actually had 2 caddies already that had to be removed from the property.
Stinson's was one of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he get hurt?
Yep. Both of them got hurt. Just normal slip and falls. But I know a gentleman who played out there a couple years ago. At the time, he was 55, 56. And I heard from him yesterday, and he actually ruptured an Achilles tendon while playing Chambers Bay.
Guess you better hit it in the fairway.
Well, that was just normal walking.
Really?
He didn't slip and fall. He didn't do anything. It was just such a strenuous walk on his Achilles. And this guy works out. He's 155 pounds. And he just said it just shredded it.
Well, I laughed the other day. I was watching, they were interviewing Lee Jansen on the practice tee. And he was like, "There's a couple holes out here. I'm just going to have to try to drive it in a specific bunker because I can't get to the fairways." And no offense, Lee Jansen's not short.
No.
I mean,
Nobody in this field's short.
I mean,
but
if-
then again, too, although it's going to play upwards of 73 to 7,800 yards, depending on where they put things. It's like Mickelson made the comment. It's not the big hitters ballpark that everybody has seemed to think it is.
It's position.
And so
Target golf.
You're exactly the likes of a Jim Furyk, a Zach Johnson, Ernie Els comes back into play.
Possibilities.
Yeah. I mean, if you took a standard eastern high humidity, high moisture content golf course and made it 7,500 yards, then you could probably take them out of the picture. But because out there they're picking up 150 yards of roll if they hit the right place, like number 10 at Augusta, on every hole, it puts them back into the mix. You agree?
I agree. I just think it's got, again, there's going to be more luck involved in this U.S. Open than anyone we've seen in a long time. Because it's a lot to do with your bounces and the rolls and the contours that
Mm-hmm.
are taken, because there's a lot of them there, and the ground is that hard. Balls rolling that far, you can hit a perfect golf shot and wind up and absolutely have nothing.
I tried to get in touch with Professor Weldon this morning. I wanted to ask him a very key question that was going to help me make my pick. But who is the leader on the PGA European Tour right now of the participants, 156 players? Who's the leader in the fewest three putts? Now, you can look at strokes gained to putting, but I'm just curious about three putts, because I think the winner of this thing, because let's say your average putt on the PGA Tour in week to week to week is, let's say, 25 feet. For this U.S. Open, it's going to be 100 feet.
It's the big Swede, isn't it? Isn't that who has the least amount of three putts?
Stinson?
No. The other one that used to have the ponytail, the whole shoot, I'm drawing a blank.
Marshall Leem?
No. Guy's been around forever. Is he even in this? No, he's not in.
No.
Basically, what
That's
I'm
not
getting
helping
from you
out.
guys is with the course setup, it's going to leave. There's more people in the field that's going to have a chance at it than would have in a regular, typical open conditions.
Okay.
It's kind of what I'm getting from what you guys are telling me.
Well, with the course conditions, they learned a lot in 2010 with the U.S. Amateur being held there. And interestingly, folks, these little stats, numbers, I like to pull out and throw at you. There's 156 players this week from 26 different countries. Okay? 11 of those players participated in the 2010 U.S. Amateur. Okay?
Okay. Been there, done that, head to shirt. Okay.
Exactly. Very good. You got the likes of Patrick Reed, Jordan Spieth,
Yep.
Brooks Koepka, Russell Henley. They were all in that USAM. Okay? So they've got upwards of 2 more weeks experience on this golf course than these
Course
other guys.
knowledge, yeah, local knowledge.
Speed's got even more than that.
Well, he didn't even make match play.
I don't care. Just with the caddy he's got more than that.
Oh, yeah. Backyard
His caddy,
caddy.
yes.
Yeah,
His caddy
backyard caddy.
there. So
Caddy there.
that's going to help, your number 2 player in the world, be able to have an advantage over the field.
Yeah.
Has his nerves simmered down enough from the Masters? Do you think he can focus and?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine. But actually getting that jacket and having all that hype. I mean, that's got to stay in your system for a while. I mean, I just don't.
Well, let's go back to the course, and we're going to get into the individual players and our picks and all that on Pro Golf Talk Live. Okay, let's get back to the course. Since the 2010 USAM, they modified 3 greens: the 1st, the 7th, and the 13th, because during the USAM in stroke play, interestingly, those 3 holes were causing havoc on the players. The first day average score for the USAM back in 2010, the first day stroke average, 79.87. Of the 156 players in the first day of the U.S. Amateur stroke play, there were 79 of 156 that shot 80 or higher. 79 of 156.
They were averaging about 7.87
You love these numbers, don't
over.
you?
Well, I'm looking at
Yep.
your numbers, and I'm trying to put 2 and 2 together. Now, I'll be the first person to admit I'm not the smartest individual in the world or the sharpest tack in the shed.
Yeah, but you look good.
But you're talking about a stroke average of 79.87.
Right.
And only 79 players shot 80 or worse?
No, 79 players shot 80 or higher.
Yeah, out of 156.
Yeah.
So the other 156 shot anywhere from
No, the remaining balance of 156 minus 79 shot less, 80 or less. Okay?
79 shot 80 or less.
No, 79 shot 80 plus.
So
See
you
the
got
plus sign here?
156. So out of the
There was
79,
156 players.
So you're looking at 60
figure-
players broke 80.
Yeah. But only 3 of those
Broke
60
par.
broke par.
Yeah. So there's some awful 80 plus. There's some 90s up in there.
That's some very interesting numbers.
There was hundreds.
Hundreds.
There. And we're talking about kids up to grown men, of course, the best in our country as far as amateur golfers. The likes of a Reed, Spieth, Hoffman.
Can I say something without getting in trouble, Jeff? And I will keep it clean.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going into one of my rants, George.
Oh, Gore, here we go. Okay, go ahead.
This goes to prove to you. Look at those numbers. Look at those numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Goes to show you, number one, the golf course itself is very difficult, that's fine. I have no problem with it. The British Open style golf courses I love. I think it's original. It's the way golf started. It's the way it probably should be.
That's right.
It goes to show you what happens when the USGA gets a hold of a golf course.
Okay.
When you have a bunch of amateurs, a bunch of lawyers, attorneys, or lawyers and attorneys, obviously. Insurance agents, accountants, setting up golf courses for national events.
Mm-hmm.
Because I promise you, if they let this get to where it looks like it's going, there's going to be some people walk off of this golf course this week.
Just players just saying.
So you know what? This is just ridiculous, and y'all have at it. Because if it gets to where it's that fast and that hard, and with the pin placements I've seen them do in the past, and what I actually got to witness in the one U.S. Open I played at Oakmont, this right here, I tell you what, 7 to 8 over par could win this golf tournament.
Sure.
Because if they're not careful with these greens.
But they learned, and that's why we're bringing this up on
Roundtable.
Roundtable
They learned a
today.
great job. Look at Shinnecock. That
Well-
was a heck of a learning experience going
Well, but
into
Shinnecock
there.
was,
What did they do there?
They didn't understand the fescue. That's what it was. They
And
didn't
whose
understand.
fault is that?
Well, that's the USGA's.
And are they not our governing body?
Yeah.
Should they not understand that?
Well-
Should they not be the ones that go in there and say, okay, fescue, and look what we did? They hire all these superintendents to come up with all these different mixtures for greens and do this and that. How do you not know how to control that?
I agree.
You're not a professional golfer. You're not
I
a
agree.
professional superintendent. You handle books and law and insurance. Don't tell me you know how to set up a golf course, because I'm telling you, if they're not careful, this will get out of control.
It will. I agree. And
the
I
guy-
hope
and that's
so.
why,
Jeff,
God
why do
bless Poulter for keeping
Jeff,
his mouth shut.
why do people, and I wish he hadn't. I really do.
I do too, but that's why he's trying to stay out
Jeff,
of
why do
this.
people watch NASCAR?
For the wrecks?
For the
To
fight.
see the wrecks.
Yeah, the wrecks.
To see the wrecks. And you will find at least the first 2 days, okay, until they get 600,000 gallons of water on this thing. And they slow down the greens, they make them softer, more receiving of shots. The fairways, you're going to have your soft areas where you can land it and at least control the bounce or the rollout or whatever. People are going to spectate this. The numbers on the television are going to be very high for this because of the golf course. They're waiting for the wreck. When you have a bad number, you know the bad number is going to be a big number, right?
You could see some Bo Derricks out there. There's no question about it.
No, absolutely.
And by that,
Multiple.
folks, I mean tens.
Multiples.
I mean, there's going to be some high scores. And for that to be our U.S. Open champions, you don't see that in a British.
No.
You'll play a links course at a British Open at St. Andrews, and the greens will be actually slow.
Yeah.
If anything, you hear the guys telling the greens are too slow.
Too slow.
But they do it so that you can hold it on the green.
Right.
Sounds like they need like a players committee, or something.
That would never happen with
That'll
USGA.
never happen to
You're not.
USGA.
You
Remember,
talk
we've talked about the mahogany doors?
Yes, sir.
You
Never
can talk
happened.
about professional golfers, guilty, yes, egos, whatever else
Oh,
it is.
God.
These guys' egos put professional golfers, Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, any of them, to shame. Because we are the ruling body. We know all.
Good point.
And I'm telling you, if they're not careful, this right here could be the biggest embarrassment in U.S. Open history, if they're not careful.
And frankly, I hope it goes that way. I do. Gives us ton to talk about for 6 months.
I don't want to
Tons.
have a heart attack. You've had 3. I don't want to know.
I'm not going to have another one, dude.
I don't wanna have one.
If
That-
I'm not
this
even know,
infuriates
I'm
me.
not even going to know if I'm having another one.
Just to watch,
I'll be gone.
To watch the stuff and watch the guys hit shots and see.
They saw it in the 2010 AM. Okay, during stroke play, it got away from them. Mike Davis admitted that this week. It got away from us. We had to go out and dump 60,000 gallons per day just in the morning wave to get this golf course during match play back into playing condition. Meaning, they could have done it beforehand, but they decided to push the envelope to test.
Well, why didn't they do it beforehand and get it to where the stroke play you get the better players, and then in match play let it go a little ridiculous because that is match play.
Again, they didn't think about that.
Well, case closed.
Okay, I'm in full agreement with you. I'm behind you, buddy. You go.
I think that.
Oh!
I just want to see. I don't want to see these guys get embarrassed.
Let's do the wave.
I just think it's. I think it's awful if they go out and embarrass these guys.
Do you think that? You know, you could take an argument earlier in the week that, okay, is this Mike Davis and the USGA poking up the chest again and saying, "Look at us," you know. The big question among the spectators of the lovers of the game of golf is this is not traditional U.S. Open course. You know, your Oakmonts, this is days of back to Shinnecock, and even Shinnecock's not it. You got a few holes that are link style, but you also got a few holes that are northern New York, and
I think with Pinehurst, where towards the end, it just was basically knockdowns and. The one boy just, played his heart out.
Martin Keimer
ran
away with this thing.
with it.
And it wasn't because he plays links courses any better.
Right.
He just figured out early that basically, even if I'm 50 yards off the green, I can putt it.
Yep.
Where everybody else was trying to chip it.
Exactly.
Well, Graham McDowell, like this week, for example, he says, I've spent several rounds basically from 125 yards in, and I didn't use a club but a putter. He said, you can putt from 150 in.
That's amazing.
So it's going to be that creative. I think the biggest you would expect a Phil Mickelson to be the front runner as far as he is the creator. He is the one that pulls out the magic, per se. Okay? Then you look at the others like my boy. Of course, I put a star by him, and I know you got a chuckle of this. You saw it. I would want a Garcia to win this. Okay? The only thing that worries me about Garcia, putting. He is just prone to three putts.
Well, I hate to tell you, in the U.S. Open, you're going to three putt. I don't care who you are.
But, dude, if you already do it on just standard normal ops, normal greens, when you hit these things, and each of them are 10,000 square feet in circumference, and then you're going to try to putt also from 80 yards? I mean, unless you absolutely, my God, you would look at a Furyk, great putter. You would look at a Zach Johnson, great putter. A Webb Simpson, great putter. If Tiger was putting well, hell, you would have to lean on Tiger. He may not be able to get to the green, but when he got on it, you would have to look at that. You would, in hypothetical.
Hypothetical. I'm not arguing. That's not what
I would love to jump on Ernie Els' bandwagon.
And I would too.
But I just don't trust Ernie's putting.
But I'll tell you this. I don't blame the USGA, George, for going to this venue. I don't.
No.
I think that is thinking outside the box,
yes.
and I like it.
Yes.
I don't think they know how to prepare it and maintain it for a legitimate, fair test of U.S. Open golf. That's my problem. You take them to Wingfoot, you take them to Oakmont, you take them to the great golf courses that they've played.
But the traditional golf
they
courses.
know how to maintain those. These they don't. This right here, if they were smart, they'd have called a couple of people over at the R&A and said, hey, can you come over here and help us kind of handle this and keep it under the gun, keep it under the table, keep it quiet, and let these folks say, look, this is what we need.
But it's
what you
like
need to
Robert
do.
Trent Jones Jr. said yesterday during an interview, him and the general manager of Chambers Bay, okay, they learned a lot during the 2010 U.S. Amateur, but over the last several months, they have not been consulted as far as the quote-unquote design, layout, and shape of the course for the Open. They were asked to change these 3 greens. They were asked to add a couple of different tee boxes by the USGA. And then they were asked to change the slope in the landing areas on 2 fairways. Everything else was done. All that work was done over a year ago. And then since then, they basically have not put their finger back on it.
See, that's where I was fixing to go. Call Junior, call the son that designed the course, get him out there.
Oh, he's eating this up.
You know what I mean?
He loves this. Oh my goodness, he'll get 10 contracts out of this. Because what's going to end up happening is if they let it go the way it looked at the beginning part of the week, okay?
Yeah. I'm listening. Go right ahead.
People from all around the world are going to go, wow. We can also have a major championship host course that's less than 10 years old. Because that's been the other little niche argument. Ooh, it's not even 10 years old yet.
Right.
And it's already hosting a major championship.
That's irrelevant. If you create a great test of golf, that's irrelevant.
I agree.
And that's where it goes back to the holier than thou attitude. But Robert Trent Jones, as we know, can have that same thing. Now, I think he's created something very unique. It's a gorgeous-looking golf course from a link standpoint when you look at it on all the pictures, television,
Right.
and whatnot. But, again, what he has built could also be just ruined in a 2-day span, starting this morning.
The reputation.
Ruined
of
as
the
far
course.
as reputation?
Mm-hmm.
Do you not think that if the average amateur was debating on taking a trip up there and paying the $250 to play this place, but they know that Tiger shot 95 and Jordan Spieth shot 80 and Phil Mickelson shot 84, and would that not make them want to go play it a little bit more?
I don't know why they would.
No, I'm just saying.
I wouldn't.
See, if they struggle that much, why would I want?
Well, I could shoot 85 there. You know?
I tell you what, I'll bet you $100 to a donut from the same tees they play, same conditions. You can't break 100.
No. I'm not saying me. I'm talking on behalf as the golf spectator, as the golf lover, as the amateur golfer out there. That they're going to sit there and go, "Well, heck, we got to go check this out, man. It can't be that difficult."
No, George, I understand where you come. They want to see the pros struggle. They want to see them whatever, but do it under fair circumstances. Don't make it to where it's going to putt and you've got the thing that keeps rolling off in the water because you missed the one
there's been
spot.
I'd pay to watch The Godfather shoot 100.
Oh,
You're
dude,
talking all right. You and about a million other
there's
people.
not enough moonshine in the world for us to be able to sit around and watch that because we'd be we'd be laughing so hard. And having so much
you'd be
fun.
talking about. Oh, he looks good doing it. Oh man, he looks good doing it. And you'd be wondering if I'm wiping the forehead and making sure there's no debris on my driver. You'll be wondering.
Yeah, you'd be.
Am I greasing?
There'd be people in the gallery saying, "But look at his hair."
That's right.
You can
And
grease
let-
all you want.
and
That
let-
can't help. You
Hey,
can have a pencil and eraser.
Hey,
it ain't gonna help.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you, Jim Biggs yesterday paid me a compliment. He said, "George, you are hitting as solid 218 down the middle as I've seen you ever hit it."
Man, you can't beat a deal like that.
I mean, especially on those downwind holes. Oh man, I was getting it.
Man, it just leaves a short wedge into most par fours, so you're winning.
Well, short wedge to the 150 marker, and then I'm a smooth 6-iron from there. Don't spit on the mic.
And hey, I'm gonna
You
tell
got
you
it.
this, George, folks. I'm sorry to say this. A lot of you hate him. I'm not a big fan, though I know him. I've known him since college. But just wait. If things happen the way that we're talking about and we kind of think is going to happen at this Open, listen to Brandel Chamblee because the man's going to be dead on point when he starts talking about it.
Well,
Because he already has a little bit. He's warned. And if it happens, he's going to gloat and he's going to tell you. It's coming.
I just truly hope that Mike Davis just says, okay, guys, we're going to switch 1. We're going to switch 18. Those are going to be the last 4 holes of this golf course during this championship can play up to 2,000 yards. That's over a mile. We'll call it the Brown Mile in the last 4 holes.
I just find it unbelievable they're going to change from a par 5 to a par 4 in the middle of a round.
And back.
That's what I'm saying. That's just Mickey Mouse to me.
Well, people have referred to it as the windmill, the putt-putt, as you stated earlier. But then again, too, hey, just because it hasn't been done in the past doesn't mean it can't be done in the future.
Yeah, that's a lot of times when you
Agreed?
mention a target golf course, the next words out of somebody's mouth will be Mickey Mouse, and that's that's
well, that's fine. But I'll also argue in the fact that why not? Why not? If the golf course allows you to do it, why not do it? These guys don't need the same sand conditions and the same green conditions and the same fairway turf conditions and quarter-inch rough and half-inch rough that they see each week. This is the U.S. Open. It's like the Open Championship.
Hey, Hugh, what would you do preparing for this tournament? Getting ready. Say if you were, you got through the qualifiers. What are you
try
going
to play golf down there on 501 in the middle of rush hour traffic and see how I could handle my golf ball and control it, because that's what it's going to be like.
Okay.
Cool.
It's the honest truth.
Yeah, well, that's what I want to hear. I mean, if he, what's
okay?
What's the average tour player going to be thinking going into this thing?
I mean, the golf course itself is going to survive, George, because look at how bad they bashed TPC when Pete Dye first built it, how they've made changes and they fixed it. This golf course is going to do the same.
And this golf course monetarily is going to do just marvelous after this Open
But the PGA
Championship.
Tour went in and handled the situation with TPC. This right here is going to be dealt on strictly the owners of the golf course, and the USGA is going to come in here and do what they want, and then they've got to go in and try to repair the damage that will be done.
It's a muni. Okay, let's wrap this up. All right, roundtable on TGD today. Good conversation, guys. TGD Radio and TV are produced and broadcast by the Zeus Radio Network for thegolfdirector.com. When visiting the Golf Director, be sure to check out our featured course pages where you'll find up-to-date information about course conditions, specials, and much more. Need help with your next golf vacation?
Just call Dave.
Give us a call, 844-GO-GOLF-1, 844-464-6531. All of our programming is archived for listening and viewing on demand. To catch up on any show you may have missed, you can click on the TGD Radio or the TGD TV tabs in the menu screen at thegolfdirector.com. We are now available on over 1 billion with a B?
Yeah, 1 billion.
Thank you. At iTunes, Audio Realm, TuneIn, YouTube, Ustream, Roku, Blueberry, and, of course, the Myrtle Beach Golf app. For HR3, Hugh Royer, Al Cloyd, Dr. Grind, I'm George Honeycutt, the Godfather. We want to thank Jeff behind the glass. We want to thank you for tuning in. More golf news and information coming up next.